Alright, so here are three big high potential countries currently in a, let's say, tight spot, but still countries to potentially consider in the future if some changes are made. These are countries with very nice features, okay? They have a lot of potential and I see them as countries that could become very livable in the future and countries where you can have a good life and expect some growth, personal growth or money-wise, okay? So the first country I'm thinking of is the US. So maybe you are living in the US and understand currently in the US there are a lot of problems. A rising cost of living, the taxes being too high in some states, a migrant crisis, especially an illegal migrant crisis, a lot of violence, okay, that has to be solved. Wokeism, of course, has gone way too far, but Trump was recently elected and to be honest, I don't really believe in it, but I hope I'm wrong. Trump could fix America, as he says, and make America great again. So, wait and see. If he does the job, I could consider moving to the US because the US is still a country with a high standard of living. Even though the prices are high, you can still make good money in the US. There's a lot of potential. At least I see a lot of potential to make business there. It's the country of money, the country of business. When it comes to money and business and work, it has a overall great mindset. It's a big country. I've been to the US with a variety of climates and beautiful countryside. So it's definitely a country to keep an eye on. Next country I'm thinking of is Russia. So I have some Russian roots. I'm fluent in Russian in both spoken and written form. My wife is Russian. I've spent 11 years in Russia. I do know Russia quite well, okay? Currently, Russia is in a tight spot. The government is a pain, no freedom of speech, very repressive place. You have to watch what you are saying there. If you are a foreigner and you want to keep your freedom of speech, you don't like to be watched every time, even though you're Russian now, and you want to live in a free country. Don't move to Russia now, okay? But still, Russia is a huge country with a variety of landscapes, beautiful landscapes. It's not always cold in Russia, not everywhere. It depends where you go, where you live. When it comes to the economy, it's still quite low now, but there is a lot of potential for growth there. Beautiful women. A lot of Russians are talented. There is talent there, okay? Now they tend to move to the west with some other countries because they are better paid there. The wages in Russia are very low now, except for Moscow, but Moscow is not Russia. I wouldn't move to Moscow. I've lived in Moscow for 5 years. And it's okay if you're young, if you're single, if you want to party and so on, but I wouldn't live in Russia. It's not really a quality of life I like. It's a big city, very busy, polluted, traffic jams and so on, a lot of concrete everywhere. I'd rather move to the Russian Far East, and to enjoy nature, the outdoors, hike and ski and drive cars. But anyway, there is still a lot of potential in Russia, and if some changes are made, if it becomes more free than now, I could consider moving back to Russia, okay? So I'm not sure when the changes will happen. Usually when changes happen in Russia, it happens in the blink of an eye, so it's definitely a country to keep your eye on. If you want to move to Russia one day, learn Russian now. It will help you a lot because mastering the Russian language is everything in Russia. If you speak Russian, write Russian, read Russian, you can basically do everything in Russia, okay? There's nothing difficult there, okay? It's more about the language than knowing the country, okay? It's very important to understand to speak Russian in Russia. And now let's move on to the last country I'm thinking of. It's Argentina, okay? Argentina, again, mild climate, not too hot if you don't like the hot like me. Beautiful landscapes. I've never been there, but I've seen online, it sells me dreams. Beautiful place. Variety of climates as well. It's not cold everywhere. Great food, they say. Amazing people. I do like the Argentinian Spanish accent a lot. If I were to learn Spanish, I would like to have an Argentinian accent. It's very beautiful. It's a mix between Italian and Spanish. Beautiful. And architecture as well. It reminds me Europe. Beautiful country with a lot of potential again. Okay, I've met a few, not a few, quite a lot Argentinians in my life. They were very, interesting people. The problem is the economy is shit, let's say it, okay? They have a crazy inflation there, still a lot of issues with crime, it's not that safe yet. But Milei was elected, not that long ago, and I hope he does the job. Do I really believe in it? I don't know. I don't know Argentinian, I don't know Spanish, I don't know the country, but I hope he will do the job, okay? If Milei does the job and makes Argentinian economy more appealing, more stable and safer, I could consider moving to Argentina and learn Spanish, okay? It's far from war, far from nuclear war as well. It's quite a remote place. And I see a lot of potential there as well, a lot of features I could like, in my daily life. So let's see. Tell me in the comment below what you guys think about these three countries, the US, Russia and Argentina. I'm not saying these are countries to move to now. I don't consider these countries now for different reasons. But in the future, if some changes are made, even a few, I could consider either move to these countries or move back to Russia if changes are made, okay? If this was interesting, smash that like button and share this video. So long story short, I'm a Western European. I was born in Europe, grew up in Europe. I've lived in Russia for a long time, in Asia for a few years. I've lived down under, I've traveled a lot to over 50 countries. So I share my experience about, international life. So yeah, here we go. Check the links below in the description. Comment, of course, which country do you consider? Or is there a country you are currently keeping an eye on? You don't want to move there now because there are a few issues you don't like, maybe a government, maybe an economy or wokeism, or tell me in the comment below which country you would like to move to if some changes, just a few changes were made, okay? And I wish you a good one. Talk to you soon, guys.